To the Riff Rundown. My name is Angela Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman. Every week I do a lesson live, no edits. It is super fun, and I go through one of my favorite songs every week with all of you. It's a live Q&A too, so if you guys have questions during the hour, by all means type them in the comments. Again, my name is Angela Petrilli, here with my friends at Fishman for a brand new episode of the Riff Rundown. I have been out for the last couple weeks, and I am back live today. So happy to be here. I hope this finds all of you well. So today we are going to be learning Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones. I've gotten so many requests for this song, and it felt like the right time to teach this one. So I will be teaching this one today. Have your acoustic or electric, if you have an electric, that's cool, acoustic or electric standard tuning. All right, we're going to have a capo on the 2nd fret. So I do want to mention before we get started in this lesson today, all of the chords that I'm going to be talking about are going to be relative to the capo, okay? I know we're going to be in the key of E minor today, but this capo, again, 2nd fret, all right? So I'm going to be calling all the chords D minor, C, all that good stuff. So that's going to be there. So capo, 2nd fret. All right, so again, it's going to be a really fun lesson here. Definitely, I'd say intermediate level. Folks who are watching today, but beginners, absolutely join us. It's going to be a fun one. So, you know, I like to ask a question for everyone tuning in. Let me know where you are tuning in from and your favorite guitar riff. Where you're tuning in from and your favorite guitar riff. Again, acoustic guitar, standard tuning, capo on the 2nd fret. Here it is, Paint It Black. That's going to be the tune we learned today. Can you tell I love playing this song? This is such a fun song to play. So happy all of you are here today. Again, you know, I like to ask a question, so everyone who's tuning in, let me know where you're tuning in from and your favorite guitar riff. I'm going to let you type all of those in, and I'm going to get to those in a moment. But let's go ahead and get started here. Again, we are in standard tuning, capo at the 2nd fret. I like to have my capo perpendicular to the fret. What does that mean? Pretty much, we're not like crossing over, we're not doing this, we're not doing that. We're staying as close to the fret as possible when we snap it on here, okay? I know it kind of looks like I'm on top of the fret with this handy dandy capo from folks at Diodario. Thanks, guys. But I'm right just behind the fret, okay? That's what I like to do. So with this riff, we have a melody line that is originally played, so on the album Aftermath by the Stones, it is played on a sitar. I figured not many of us have one of those, so we're going to learn it on guitar today. I don't think a lot of us have a sitar, but if you do, awesome. So what we're going to do here is the melody line is beautifully simple here, and I'm going to play it. But that's not it, right? We're including this droning note that is being played throughout the melody line that we see not only in the intro, but in the verse. So here's how we're gonna get started with this. I want you to get your second finger, placing it on the second fret of the G string, like that. Then I want you to get your third finger, I want you placing that on the third fret of the B string, again in accordance to the capo. This riff is going to be based around a D minor chord in accordance to the capo. Do I know we're in E minor? Yes. But for the purposes of keeping this very easy for everyone today, relative to the capo. Okay, so this whole riff is being based around that D minor. So what we're gonna do here is this. With the melody line, there's going to be this open D string that continues to ring throughout. So it's going to sound like this. I'm going to play the intro nice and slowly, and then of course I'm going to break it down for you, okay? So it's going to sound like this slowly. I'm going to do that again, nice and slowly here. Watch my right hand as I'm plucking the strings, okay? I'm going to do that again slowly. This is the intro. So that's what's happening there. Notice, and this is for me, this feels comfortable when I do this. When I'm playing the first riff with that droning D string, let me play that again. Notice how I'm keeping my second finger down on that second fret of the G string. To me, it acts very grounding, and we're going to be playing that note in the second half of the riff anyway. So we've got our hands like that, okay, fingers ready to go. What we're going to do here, alternate picking is absolutely clutch in this song, all right? What that means is when we strike the string from the top and we strike the string from the bottom, okay? So we are really, really utilizing this right hand technique when we are picking these strings. I cannot stress that enough. Alternate picking is what's going to make this riff incredibly successful for you. So stick with me on this. What we're going to do here is when we play that B string, right, where our third finger is on the third fret, you're going to strike upwards. And that droning D note from the D string, all right, we're going to strike downwards on that. So let's just focus only on that. I know this seems very, very simple, but this technique and this frame of mind here is incredibly important in getting this successful, all right? So B string, upward stroke, D string, downward stroke, open D string. And they're octaves, which is pretty cool. All right, so. And let's just get the feel of that. That's how we're going to space out this melody, all right? So we've got that first. Now what we're going to do, strike the open E string, okay? And then back to that D string. So that's going to sound like this. And again, alternate picking. Bottom of the string, top of the string, bottom of the string, top of the string. Let's do that again. Again. Just like that, all right? The next bit here, what we're going to do is we're going to get that first finger, placing it on the first fret of the E string. And then open D string. Okay, so putting these two parts together, it's going to sound like this. I'm going to play this slowly. Here we go. Here it coming together? Let's do that again. Don't forget to alternate pick again. And one more time. So you have that melody line. So we have melody note, bass note, melody note, bass note, melody note, bass note. All right, let's go ahead and do this one more time. And then we're going to add a little bit more to this melody. So here we go. Okay, now what we're going to do next, so we have that beautiful D minor chord here. What we're going to do is we're going to now place our pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E string. That makes this a D sus4 chord. Okay. And what we're going to do here, you guessed it, high E string note, okay, open D string, continuing to alternate pick. All right, so now let's add that note nice and slowly here. Let's take our time. We want to get this right. This is such an iconic riff, and I want us to have it sound great. All right, so here we go, nice and slowly here. Follow along, you can do it. Again. And one more time. Okay. From there, lift the pinky finger up. Your first finger should be on the 1st fret of that high E string. We're going to strike that note again, as well as that open D string. All right, so here we go, nice and slowly here. Now from here, lift that 1st finger up, open E string, and guess what? With the open D string too. Okay. We're going to do this again nice and slowly. Again, I'm really taking my time with this one. This is such a great riff, and I want all of you to be successful in this. And again, I forgot to mention at the top of the hour, you're enjoying the lessons? Subscribe to the channel. It truly does help the cause, folks. I'd appreciate it very much. So here we go from the top. And again. We're going to do this a few times here, so here we go. And again. Okay, last time, here we go. And finally, we're going to end that melody with the 3rd fret of the B string. All right, nice and slowly here. How's everybody doing? Put it in the comments. I want to see how everybody's going on with this. All right, here we go. Let's do it again. It's coming together. See, we're playing it nice and slow because, as I say in these lessons, we can't play anything fast. We can't play slow. So it is so important to build that great foundation by playing things slowly, looking at how we're playing with these, or how the fingers are being placed on the fretboard, what's going to make the most sense, are there pivot points, those sorts of things. These are techniques I want you to think about, right, when you're learning a song. So again, slow and steady wins the race here. Let's go ahead and do that again from the very, very top. Do not forget to alternate pick. This is going to help you make this successful. So here we go. Now, let's bring the speed up just a touch. Just a touch. Okay, so here we go. And again. again. And here it is fast. And again. Okay. Now that's all of the droning, I don't want to say droning, the friendly D strings that are going in between the melody, right? So now we do here for the second half is, see how we have our second finger here? See how I told you to keep it there on the second fret of the G string? We are going to use that note now, and that is going to replace that open D string. So that is going to sound like this. I'm going to play it a little bit slower, okay? So this will sound like this. Notice how we're not really moving around a lot. That third finger is really doing all the work here. Notice how that second finger is staying exactly where it is. In reality, that is a B note, okay? But if according to the capo, right? Second fret of the capo. So here we go. So what we do here, we're going to utilize that where that second finger is, okay, on the second fret of the G string. What we're going to do here is we're going to strike that downward stroke on that G string, second fret, upward stroke on that third fret B string where your third finger is, upward stroke. Striking from the bottom of the string upwards. See that alternate picking? Top of the string, bottom of the string. Just like that. So what we have here is, and the next part, bring that third finger back to the second fret of that B string. We're going to do this again. G string and B string there. Top of the string, bottom of the string. Alternate picking. From there, the next part here, bring that third finger back to the third fret of the B string. Notice how the second finger is staying stationary, second fret of the G string. Keep it there. So far this is what we have, nice and slowly. Now, the fourth and final part is going to go like this. Play that second fret of the G string, open E string. So that is going to sound like this. All four parts slowly. Okay? How's everybody getting along? Let me know. Here we go. Okay? That's what we've got. Sounding good. So if I play this a little bit faster, we're going to do this a couple times, okay? So play along with me. I encourage you to. So here we go. Let's do that again a few more times here. Again. I know, this is a challenging song, right? We've got people, the alternate picking is getting a little, it's okay, I'll tell you what, it works great slowly. Dean, I love how you said that. It works great slowly. Like I said, we can't play anything fast, we can't play slow. Think of me as your guitar mentor. I don't like to consider myself a teacher, I'm a guitar mentor, all right? I know you can do this. So slow and steady wins the race here, okay? We can't play anything fast, we can't play slow, we can't run before we crawl, all right? So let's take our time here. You can do this. So we're going to do this from the very, very beginning, all right? I'm going to play it slowly. We'll build up the speed, all right? So here we go from the very top of the intro. Let's do that again. D string, not the A string. We're live. We're live. Nice and slowly again from the top. You're doing great. You're doing great. Do it again, nice and slowly here. Again, notice too with that hand, okay? Alternate picking. Top of the string, bottom of the string. Down, up, down, up. Nice and fluid with that right hand, okay? This is a great song to incorporate that exercise, so here we go. And again. Let's do that a few more times here, all right? I'm going to bring up the speed just a little bit. Here we go. Slow and steady wins the race. You can do this. We're doing it again. And again. Here we go. A little bit faster. And one more time for good luck. It's coming together. It's coming together. You can do this. Here we go. Okay, that is that intro riff. And guess what? We've covered like 90% of the song by learning that. So we're covering a lot of ground here. So those of you who are maybe, oh my gosh, I'm getting a little bit frustrated, you can always go back and watch this on YouTube, all right? Take your time, nice and slowly here. We're gonna keep playing that riff, don't worry. We're not done with it just yet, because we're gonna see it a lot in tune. Here's probably my favorite part of this song. I just love it. It's this little bit. All right, lots of open strings here. We're not covering a ton of ground with that riff, right? Nice and condensed and concise right in those first 3 frets. So let's go ahead and play it. What we're gonna do here, it's a really cool pull off and hammer on type of riff. We're gonna go open, B string, second finger, 2nd fret of the B string, 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the B string. And what we're gonna do here, and I like to do this, and I'm pretty sure that Brian does it too, is you're gonna strike the open E string and the 3rd fret of the B string at the same time. Just like that. So, that beautiful dissonance, it's absolutely wonderful. So, just like that. Just going to go backwards. Okay, so what we're going to do here, 3rd finger, 3rd fret of that B string. We're going to kind of do a pull off there. So if you want to keep your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the B string, I highly encourage you to do so. We can get that really cool pull off. And even if you notice how I got some of that E string on that pull off? The dissonance is cool. Keep it. It's great. It just adds to the vibe of this song. It's awesome. So from there, open B string, then bring that 2nd finger, hammer onto the 2nd fret of that B string. So, like that. All right? Such a beautiful, simple, incredibly impactful riff. It's lovely. So, from the top of just that riff, don't worry, we'll add it to the intro in just a moment here. It goes like this. I'm doing that a little bit slowly here. Just like that. Pretty cool, right? It's a great, great little riff. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna play the intro, okay, from the top. Also too, I've seen people saying, what kind of pick should I use for this? For me, Robert, I love where you're going, don't worry, we're getting there. I have a thin pick. I usually play mediums to heavies myself most of the time. For a riff like this and just the sound of this song, I like to use a thinner pick. So if you have a thin pick, give it a try. But that's what I'm using today. So just thought I'd mention it. Okay, from the very, very top, I'm gonna play it at like medium speed. And here we go. Here comes that riff. Okay, again. I'm gonna play it a little faster. Okay, just like that. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Someone's asking what thickness. Probably I'd say a 0.60. 0.60 pick. Good question, Mary. Thank you. So here we go from the top again. And here we go. Just like that. All right, so that's what's happening there again. Slow and steady wins the race. Take your time with this. Rewind on YouTube if you'd like. It's there for you. So, after that riff, and I'll play it through fast now. And we have those drums come in for 2 measures. Bum, 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 bum. So a cool way to do that, if you'd like, is to kind of hit right here. See where the saddle is? Bum, 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 bum. On the strings, you can do that too. So I'll show you how that works in context. So from the top. And you can mute that way like that, just to kind of throw the drums in. So what we're gonna do here is after that drum part, okay, we're gonna have 4 beautiful upstrokes of this D sus2, and guess what? We've been playing it all along, all right? So keep your second finger on the 2nd fret of that G string, 3rd finger, 3rd fret of the B string, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna upstroke. We're gonna include that open E string. I tend to really like how that sounds when I play this song live. I really like to include it. And you're gonna strum, even on that low A, why not? So all the strings except the low E string is what we're gonna do. And also too, I want you to notice this, I have this in my notes today to include this. We can upstroke around the sound hole of the instrument, but a lot of times if I want to sound really, really interesting, I'll go way back to the saddle. Notice how this sounds different. Versus, hear the difference? And I have a slight curve when I do an upstroke. I don't do it just straight. I like to have a little bit of a curve. Pretend like you're outlining the bottom half of the sound hole. Yeah, kind of a sitar sound, Lucas, exactly right. Because again, we're going back and we're mimicking what Brian was doing on the sitar, and it kind of gives it that effect. So, wanted to throw that out there. If you want a bigger sound, just go near the sound hole, all right? So in context, I'm going to go ahead and play that fast with the intro and then the drum part and then the upward strokes. And then I want to take your questions. I feel like we've been playing a long time. We're halfway through the lesson. I want to take your questions. So I'm going to run through this quickly and I'll take your questions, and I want to know your favorite riffs and where everybody's tuning in from. So here we go. And then we get into the verse, which is pretty much identical to the intro. All right, so let's see here, folks. I want to do this too. Those of you may or may not know, I released my first single 2 weeks ago called The Voices. If you follow me on YouTube, and if you don't, I highly suggest you do, subscribe to the channel. I released my first single called The Voices, and the music video is up on my YouTube channel. You can check it out on Spotify, The Voices. We're super proud of it. It's really fun. The full EP comes out on May 5th, so be sure to check that out. Someone said elbow cough. I love that. That's funny. Okay, so let's see. Where's everybody tuning in from? We got New Zealand in the house, Auckland, New Zealand. And their favorite riff is Sweet Home Alabama. Thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is great. All right. What do we got here? We got Chicago in the house. We got Mississippi. We got the UK here. This is wonderful. Los Angeles, San Diego, thank you for being here. This is wonderful. Cape Cod, one of my favorite places in the world, Chuck. Hope it's wonderful. Little Wing is one of my favorite riffs too. Very, very cool. Gimme Shelter, great riff. Sweet Child of Mine, Reckless 575. My unofficial secretary here at the Riff Rundown. Thanks, Reckless 575, for tuning in and keeping everybody posted on what tuning and we're in today, so thank you. Appreciate it. Can't Find My Way Home from Virginia. Yes, great tune. This is wonderful. Thank you all so much for tuning in. This is great. Again, live Q&A here too, folks. It's fun stuff. Happy to answer your questions and hang out with you guys on this beautiful, beautiful Saturday. It's great to be here. San Antonio, Brazil, Orlando, England, Vermont, Bristol, Australia, Cincinnati. Oh my gosh, all over the world. Thank you so much for being here, everybody. On beautiful British Columbia. Casey, thanks for tuning in. All right, this is wonderful. So let's go ahead and get started here on the verse. So I'm going to give you two different options when it comes to the verse. There are two guitars that are there, and again, if you're listening back to this, and this is something that I want to say too, if you're going to play along to the record, they're not quite an A440 tuning. It's a little bit sharp, so they're not in like completely standard tuning. They're like in this kind of middle ground. So if you're going to play along to the song on the record, it's going to sound a little wacky. So just FYI, it's you're not crazy. It's just the tuning is just slightly out. So yeah, something I did want to mention. Had that in my notes today too. So as far as the verse goes, we have two chords here that we're dealing with. There's a D5 chord. So all that is we have a regular D major, right? I think we all know how to play that by now. What we're going to do here is we're not going to play the F sharp. That would be the third, okay? So in accordance to the capo, right? That's that E string on the second fret. We're not going to play that note. What we're going to do is we're just going to play just the open D string, the G string, and the B string of that chord. Just like that, all right? And then we're going to play an A chord too. So those of you who don't know, this is how I like to play an A chord generally in most cases here. We're going to get my second finger, second fret of the D string. We're going to get my third finger, third fret of the G, or second fret of the G string rather, and fourth finger, second fret, the B string. So those are the chords. I've seen a red door and I want to paint it black, right? So those are the two chords. And we go back and forth between those two chords. That's it. And you can also play the A chord like that if you wanted to, with just one, your first finger there. You could do that too. So those are the chords that are happening underneath the riff. So the riff here, right, that sitar part, we're playing it on guitar today, it's almost identical to the riff that we have in the intro, just the last little bit slightly different. So I'm going to play it to speed, tempo, all right? And that verse riff is going to sound like this, okay? Slightly different, very, very cool. I'll do that again. It's just like that. It's got this cool little bend and little pull-off hammer on. Such a great technique. So what we're going to do here, we're going to play through that riff slowly again. Remember, I told you we're coming back to it. We're doing it right now. Nice and slowly here, the riff. We're going to stop once we get to the new little quick ending part of the riff. So here we go. From here, we're going to get that third finger and we're going to bend ever so slightly on that note. Just like that. And if it's a little out, that's okay. We're getting the vibe. We're getting the vibe of this song. And then we're going to have that riff there. So check this out. Bending on that third fret B string. Second finger, second fret B string. From there, we're going to hammer on with our third finger, third fret B string. Pull off, back to the second fret of the B string. Open B string. And then second finger back to the second fret of the B string. Just like that, you can do it, okay? I'm rooting for you. Here we go. So that's the only difference from the intro riff and the verse riff, is that little. That's it, all right? So we're gonna play this nice and slowly here. We do that again with all the right strings, folks. It happens to all of us. Here we go. Second finger there. Okay, come on, Angela, you got this. Again. And also something too, if you need a little help in bending in that third fret of that B string, because I get it, because we're higher up on the neck, so sometimes strings can be a little bit harder to bend. That's totally normal, and that's okay. Thanks, Reckless575, appreciate it. Use your second finger to help you bend that B string. If you find that your third finger needs a little help, I know that I do that sometimes too. All right, so here we go. We're gonna run this through a couple times without the commentary. All right, so here we go. You got this. Riff. Again. So now let's get to the chorus. I love this chorus, and it sounds like this. Such a great chord progression. Let's talk about it. We've got D minor here. Again, in accordance to the capo, okay? So our first finger here, replacing that on the first fret of that E string, that's your F note. Third finger, third fret of the B string, that would be your D note, your root. Your second finger here, second fret of the G string, that's A. So our target centers for that D minor chord, what are our tonal centers? D, F, and A, the 1, flat, 3, 5, okay? just like that. So D minor, D, F, and A. Those are the notes. Then we're going to go to C. Lovely C chord. Most of us know how to play it, but if you don't, first finger, second fret, or first finger, first fret. There we go. First finger, first fret of the B string. That's your C note. Second finger, second fret of the D string. That's E. That's your third. Your third finger now goes here on the third fret of the A string. That is your C. So again, tonal centers of the C major chord, because you guys know I like to bring in a little theory to all these lessons. C, E, G, 1, 3, 5. Just like that, folks. Okay? Me personally, when I play this song, I like to play the F bar chord here. So I think it sounds really, really robust and nice. I like this version of it. But you can choose to play this one if you'd like, but me personally, I like this one. So again, bar all across, all 6 strings at the first fret of the guitar here, again, in accordance to the capo. In actuality, do I know this is a G chord? Yes. But we're going to call it F here. All right, we want to get close to the fret. I know in this, it looks like I'm touching the fret, but in fact, I am just behind it. Okay, third finger reaches up to the third fret of that A string, fourth finger, third fret of the D string, second finger, second fret of the G string. Again, F, A, and C, 1, 3, 5 target notes for the F chord. Again, my beginners who are watching, notice how you cannot see my thumb right now. This is what we want. The second your thumb comes up here, notice how the hand shrivels. We do not want that. The thumb, okay, we want it the middle of the neck, right, where the neck kind of starts to bend and make that C shape. We want to place our thumb there, just like that. We want to press. We don't want to press too hard. Press through with these fingers, pressing inward with that thumb. Okay, I know it's a bar chord. I know they can be a pain in the butt. They were for me too when I was a beginner. But again, like I said, slow and steady wins the race with this. So look at your technique, okay? Being very honest, okay? It's buzzing. Why? Am I on top of the fret? Am I playing the right strings? Are my fingers curled enough? Am I as close to the fret as I can be? These are the questions I want you asking yourself if you find that your chords maybe not sounding as great as you want them to, okay? So asking yourself those questions are really important here. So after that F chord, we have a C, and then we're gonna go back to that D minor, and we're gonna play it a little bit longer. And we're going to do this really great little chordal riff, and I'll tell you exactly what chords all of these are. Right? So it sounds like that. So again, let's do that in context, and I'll break down that chordal riff there. So here's the first half of that chorus. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play a D sus2 first. So I want you to think of it this way, okay? Our target, our home, is going to be this D minor chord, okay? So this shape, your second and third finger throughout this entire chord riff, I do not want you to move them at all, okay? Pretend that they are glued to the fretboard, all right? So for D sus2, I want you to lift the first finger, because with this chordal riff, the first finger and the fourth finger are going to be the ones doing the work. Think of your second finger and third finger as the foundation here, okay? Don't move them, promise, don't move them, okay? So we've got this. So we've got our D sus2, right? That first finger is lifted out of the way. We're going to put it back, upstroke D minor. Now, we're going to get that fourth finger, third fret of the high E string, D sus4, downward stroke. Lift the fourth finger up, keeping your first finger where it is, first fret of the E string, upward stroke D minor. Lifting the first finger, D sus2. Upward stroke, first finger back D minor. So if I play this very, very slowly, it sounds like this. Let's do that a couple times here. Notice how my second and third finger did not move. The first finger and fourth finger are doing all the work. Okay, so here we go again. Again. Let's do it again. And with a little speed. Just like that. So what we're going to do here, we're going to do this first half of the chorus, and then we'll look at the second half again. Most of the same chords here, but we're going to add two other ones that are, I think, just really, or the cherry on top, just really, really beautiful chord choices. So here we go. From the top, I'm going to play this slowly. Again. Again. Good stuff, right? And I love how Walther said that. Good finger independence exercise. Absolutely. Going through, again, thinking of D minor as your home base and keeping the second and third finger where they are, letting the first and fourth finger do all of the work. It's a good, like, what is it? You touch the top of your head and rub your stomach. It's one of those kind of things at first. But once you get the hang of it, it's absolutely great. But again, like I said, and this is a big theme from this lesson, we cannot play anything fast that we cannot play slow, okay? So that's what's happening there in the first half of the chorus. Now let's go ahead and look at the second half. So guess what? A lot of the same chords. Yay, love that, all right? What happens here, so we're gonna add a G and an A to the end of this, all right? So in context, here's what the second half of the chorus sounds like. Beautiful chords, right? So we still have a D minor, we still have that C, we still have F and C, and now we're going to go to the really jangly sounding G major chord. So what we're going to do here is you're going to get your third finger, this is how I like to play it on this song, third finger on the third fret of the low E string, and your fourth finger on the third fret of the high E string. So in actuality, are these A notes? Yes, but again, in accordance with the capo, because we're capo to the second fret today. So what happens here? So G, B, and D are our target notes in the G major chord. What happens with this grip, and a lot of times I'm like, hey, I don't want you having any buzzing or muting with certain chords. With this one, we do. Check it out here. By gripping the G chord in this fashion with our third finger on the third fret of the low E string, all right, when I pluck the A string, listen to this. See how it doesn't sound like the true A note? I don't want it to, because G, B, and D, the A note is not in the chord. So that part of your finger right here, okay, let's see, towards the back of this, there you go. So that part of your finger there, the part of the fingertip that has a little bit of that tip, right? We want that muting the A string. That's a good thing. So when we play the chord nice and jangly, right, we have that open B string there, and it sounds great. So that's how we're choosing to play the G chord here today, at least to the best of my ear from listening, because there's a ton of guitar and instrument layers on that tune. Sounds like that to me. And then this version of A, which is a beautiful version of this chord. Here's how we're going to play it. You're going to bar your first finger across the second fret of the D, G, B, and E string in accordance with the capo, right? Sounds good, okay? So we got that there, right? Now you're going to get your fourth finger, okay? Again, we're really building our fingers' dependence with this song today. That's why I really wanted to take my time with this one. Fourth finger is going to go to the fifth fret in accordance to the capo on the high E string. And you're going to strum from the A string downward. Good chord, right? Lucky for us, since we're getting toward, closer to the body of the guitar on this fretboard, the frets are a little bit closer, so playing chords like this sounds pretty cool. All right, so just like that. So in context, here is the second half of that chorus. Go ahead and do that again, second half, and then we'll introduce the first half of the chorus. So here we go. And again, if you're enjoying these lessons, be sure to subscribe to the channel. It helps the cause. Share these videos with a friend. The shares are so welcomed, and I'm so grateful for those too. Also, to check out all the cool stuff Fishman is up to, be sure to click the link in the video description. And I'm going to do this again too. We are celebrating my new music that's out. So I am going to put a link to the new music. My new single is called The Voices, so be sure to check that out. I'm going to put the link right here in the chat so you guys can give it a listen, watch the video on my YouTube channel, all that good stuff. All right, so here's the second half of that chorus. One more time and then we'll combine it. Okay, and now from the top of the chorus. And now to speed. I played that at medium speed. Here it is to tempo. And then we get right into that verse riff again. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to play the intro, the verse, and the chorus. All right? Follow along, follow along. Again, if you're enjoying the videos, be sure to click the like button on the video. It helps, and the notification, it's a little bell thing. It's pretty cool. And subscribe to the channel. It's good stuff. Here we go from the top. Drum section. Upstrokes. Verse. Chorus. Verse. Chorus. So the song goes back and forth, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. There are 6 verses in this tune. Again, they're nice and short, and then you got those really beautiful bursts of the chorus. Something I do want to mention too, there's a bit of a tempo change. You'll hear it at the 2-minute, 22-second mark. Really listen to what Charlie Watts is doing. You hear like castanets in there, and it's like this beat, and it kind of goes. It's a cool little thing that happens there, and I'll play that a little bit slower here. All we're doing here is we have a D chord and an A chord, or at least a D5. All right, in this bit, and I want to show you something. I'm not sure they do it on the recording, but I was writing out my chart this week, and I'm like, oh, I'm going to include that in there. Yeah, can't go wrong with a beautiful bolero, Robert. I agree. So what we're going to do here, I'm going to play that slowly. Again, that D5. To A. We can do it that way, back and forth. So that's it nice and slow. Again, fast. So you can do that. Now, that's one option, okay? But if I can give you other options to play chords, I'll do that too. So here's one, I doubt they did it on the record, but I think it sounds really cool, is this. So it's a D minor inversion with an A major inversion. They're kind of in a, well, they're in a very near spot together, and it sounds like this. Here's how we do that. So those chord shapes, we're going to have our first finger on the 5th fret of the E string, high E, second finger 6th fret of the B string, third finger 7th fret of the G string. So that should sound like this. And you're going to have that open D string on top because this is a D minor chord that we're playing. Again, D, F, and A, the 1 flat 3 5. So just like that. And we're going to do that same pattern, okay? So that's on the D minor. Let's go ahead and do that slowly here with this inversion. And now from here, we're going to go to A major. So here's what we're going to do here. First finger, you're going to press on the 5th fret of the E string and B string in accordance to the capo. Okay, squeezing there, pinching with that first finger and thumb. Okay, thumb, the back of the neck. We're going to get our second finger here, 6th fret of the G string, third finger, 7th fret of the D string, D as in dog. That's how the chord should sound. Okay, remember it's C major, A, or A major rather, A, C sharp, and E, 1, 3, 5 for the major chord. Okay, that's our tonal centers there. And we're going to do that same strumming pattern. Now combining them both. And feel free to get that open A string in there too. It's an A chord. fun stuff. And also too, in the outro, you can hear it. Again, there's lots of layers. There's a really cool little outro that happens based off of an A harmonic minor scale. You can hear just kind of the kind of stuff that Brian did on that. But I'll give you, again, I'm doing artistic license with this because it is kind of tough to hear it. So I'll give you a little riff to just kind of include in there, but I encourage you to really make it your own. Again, not on the record, but inspired by the Brian Jones guitar licks that we have at the end of the tune at the 2-minute 56-second mark. So here's a little riff that you can chew on with this. So first finger, we're going to place that on the 5th fret of that high E. Then we're going to go to the 6th fret. Again, alternate picking here, top, bottom, top, bottom. Okay, then playing that 5th fret of the E string. Getting our 3rd finger here, placing that on the 8th fret in accordance to the capo on that B string. From there, going back to the 5th fret of the high E, then back to the 8th fret of the B string. Sounds like this. From there, 2nd finger, 6th fret of the B string, 1st finger, 5th fret of the B string, then sliding back to the 3rd fret of that B string. So it sounds like this, nice and slowly here. Again, inspired by the riffs, inspired by the riff. Let's do that again. And then feel free to, include to the end of that. So again, just something for you to chew on. Again, inspired by, we don't hear it on the record, but inspired by what's on it. That you can just include at the end. But wanted to throw that in there for you. So let's go ahead and do that one more time, nice and slowly here. And again, let's do it a few more times for good luck. Why not? We're having fun. This is such a fun one, and it's been such a joy to teach this. So that is Paint It Black by the Stones. A really, really fun song. Again, allowing you to really build that interdependence with the fingers. And like I said, the theme of this lesson, if you take one thing from this lesson today, you cannot play anything fast that you cannot play slow. So I really encourage you to take your time with this. It is so well worth it. It is such a fun song to play. It's got a great vibe, and again, a lot of really good technique too. So again, my name is Angela Petrilli. I want to say thank you to all of you. You guys make these riff rundowns what they are, and it is just such a joy. Thank you for tuning in week after week. Again, I want to thank my friends at Fishman. You want to find out more about all the cool stuff that I use, like the RS Spectrum DI and the Matrix Infinity Enhanced pickups that I have in my Martin 00017 here. Be sure to check that out in the link in the video description. Also too, check out my new song, The Voices, out now on Spotify and everywhere you stream music. It's all up there. The video is on my YouTube channel. Be sure to check it out and give it a like. I would appreciate it if you did. We had a lot of fun. And the new single comes out this Friday, and it's going to be a blast. So thank you all again so very much. Have a wonderful week. And again, wishing you so much success on your musical journey. All right, everyone be well, and I'll see you guys next time.